Okay, welcome to some stretching for bone strengthening. This is the second of 4 videos. So only do this if you're cleared by a medical professional to do so. If you are, follow along with my movements. It's going to be about a half hour. Let's just get into it.
So this is a workout to strengthen your bones. So your bones, you have roughly 220 of them, and the way to strengthen them is to move them and stress them. So we're going to be doing that, but very gently. And you stress them with the power of your muscles. So the muscles will get us moving around, so just relax and imagine that your muscles are pulling the skeleton, the bones. So we want to use all 220 bones. So that's your finger bones, your feet bones, your ankles. You see, we're using our ankles, hips, and in particular the spine. And you have 33 vertebrae, and they need to be strong. You've got bones across here, and they need to be strengthened. So we do all that through movement, through muscles that put the load into the spine as we move side to side. We're lifting up, shoulder rotation, and drop down. Now, these are very, very good to drive the blood into the bones, but gently. Other side, lift, and one arm. Lift it up. Now, the blood goes down your arm. So that's why we do these big arm movements, to get the blood into the bones by just using gravity. Up and circle around. So movement works to pump like an old-fashioned garden pump. Movement pumps the blood into the bones. And as we move around, bending the knees, twice each arm, repeat them again. Now we're going to do waist rotations. So every movement is actually driving that blood into the bones. Little waist rotation, very relaxed, so that the blood can easily flow into the bones. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit bigger moves. Nice and wide, and make sure you're standing nicely on your feet. So you want to lift one arm up. Imagine that you've got a bow and arrow. This is a wimpy bow and arrow, so you don't have to pull too hard. So you're just shifting and you're pulling. Release. You're going to lift that arm up and over. And wash the air, just to ship on up behind you. Push it. Now you're going to cut the air. Twist. All these movements are stressing pretty much all 220 muscles. We're working the spine, the fingers, the hips, the feet. There you go. We're going to do the other side. Grab a bowl, gently pull it open, release, open it out, get some gravity to help the blood flow down. Bend the elbows and drop your body over, working as a chip-on ribbon. Push it away. Now cut the air with the underneath of your arm. Now lift your elbow up. All these exercises here, these bending, work ribs, spine, and hips. And these are what you need in order to strengthen your bones. Now you're going to imagine that you're pulling a weed from the ground. So tuck your tailbone under. Don't stick your bum out. Drop your knees down. Try to grab a weed. Pull that weed and roll up one vertebra at a time. Nice and slow. Arm above your head to let the blood flow down. And relax and push that elbow behind you, bending it. Other side, tuck your tailbone under so you round your back. And every time you round your back, you're stretching out that spine, roll up one vertebra at a time. You're working to pump more blood into your spine. So you're getting mobility with the rounding and the straightening. Grab a weed, and you're getting circulation. And the full load of your body is being put into those muscles. We're looking to stress the bones with weight-bearing exercises, but our body is a weight. We weigh a lot. So if you move your body through space as we are, you're putting a substantial amount of weight on your bones because you're having to lift up that body, lift up the spine. It's a lot of weight that's been pressed on the bones. So its mobility is one of the major secrets to strengthening your bones. Just moving it, get the blood driven into those bones through movement. So fingers. So most bones in your body, or half the bones in your body, are in your fingers and your feet. And they're so inconsequential, but really they're very, very important. We get a lot of osteoporosis and arthritis in our fingers and our feet. We want to just work those hands. So open your fingers, open, close, open. Now shoot your hands open, shoot them open, shoot them. You can keep your elbows bent, but work your fingers. So as wide as you can stretch those fingers. Stretch them out, stretch them, and lift, lift, and really work the hand, work the wrist. Go faster. Where you're going to be feeling this is probably in that lower part of your arm. A little faster. Might be feeling slightly achy. And if you find it too tiring, stop, shake out, and start again. Now, arms work the spine. So when people think they have to strengthen their bones, they go and get weights. Your arm is a weight. So keep those arms up. Open them diagonal, so the weight of your arms is stressing your spine. Now we're going tight. Open the arms, but don't open them as far as you can, and then push with a resistance back. And a little resistance, tightening them up. Bend, open, a little resistance back. This is tremendously good for the bones of your spine, your shoulders, and your clavicle, which is this thing here, in your ribs also. Did I miss any bones? Probably. Resistance. And in, out. Fight it. Fight it. So the weight of our arms, somebody said your arms weigh roughly a watermelon. It's quite a lot of weight. I mean, different arms weigh different watermelons, but all it means is that your arms are a weight. So as long as your arms are up, working, you're going to be doing a weight-bearing exercise right into the spine, right into the hips even. Press. I'm going to do it wrong for a second. This is wrong. Push like that. You've got to slowly control it. So don't do any jerk movement, any fast, forceful movements. Make them slow and controlled. First of all, you get a lot more out of it, slow and controlled. The hands, and it's much, much safer. So benefits and safety win every time. Use your fingers as fast as you can. Now, just make your fingers go and open your arms out. And in, bring them in to the front, bend them, open them out, and bring them in. Okay, good, good, good. Now we're going to go and do some chair work. So now we're going to do chair work to strengthen your bones, but we want to work on the feet in particular because this is the foundation of our body. So what we want to do here is put the full weight of your body, force it down into your feet. So hold your chair. You can hold it with both hands if you want, but I'll stand so you can see me. So you're going to just press into the floor with your foot. So you press down on the sole of your foot as you slowly lift your heel. And you're going to feel a stretch through the front of your leg, through the shin. But the focus we're working on here is just to push, just to stress the bones. And this is stressing the bones, not just of your feet and ankles, but of this tibia also, the bones of the whole leg, hips as well. Change your feet. So this is called going through the foot because we're going through all the different bones of your foot, stressing those bones. So push down, press into the bone with the weight of your body. We're going to do it again. Slowly lift up that heel, pushing into it. Use the toes just to finish the work, and down you go. Now you're going to stand, hold it with the two hands. Push the weight of your body into the floor. Push away from the floor as you lift those heels. And this is going to force a lot of stress into the bones. Now the bones are made up of trillions of fibers, and we're trying to rebuild the fibers, rebuild the matrix in the bone itself so that the calcium can then deposit itself and strengthen your bones. So by doing these heel raisers, you're really strengthening right through the full body, spine, hips, legs, and feet. And up you go, forcing your weight into those feet and down. So now you might want to shift the weight over and just lift one heel up a couple of times. But some people find it very uncomfortable to be standing on the floor with bare feet. So stand on a soft mat. But don't use shoes. We need to sometimes take off our shoes to liberate the joints. So now we're going to do little stretches for the Achilles. So one foot in front of the other. I like to put both hands on the bar and you push into the back heel. Then you're going to lift up the heel at the back and lower it. So nice and slowly, you're going to lift your heel, lower your heel. And this is going to loosen up the ligaments around your toes, which get tight. And it'll give you more mobility in the joint. You can't have strong bones if you can't get the blood rushing into those bones. So the more you move, the more you get the mobility in every joint, the better the blood can get in. So we have to stress the joints. We're going to change legs. So we push the weight of the body into the back leg. You're going to feel that Achilles. So there's a combination of things you have to do to strengthen your bone. One is stress them, and the other one is get the blood into them, because you're stressing them for nothing otherwise. Because the blood is what is carrying the calcium, is carrying all the minerals, and it delivers them into the bones. So it's a sort of a combination of factors that you have to work on. So we get the mobility, we get the circulation, we get the stress, and the stress will actually realign the fibers of your bones and the rest of your body too. You know what? We're going to bend that back leg, push into the heel, and we're going to just start again, feet flat, just lift up those heels, lower the heels, to stress the bones, lift up, and lower those heels. And one more time. And when you do it this last time, push as hard as you can, pushing the weight of your body. Because you can lighten up the load on your feet, but let's push the load into the feet while we're doing this so that we really make the bones fight back and reshape those fibers. Okay, so nice wide Tai Chi plie. The width is really important to protect your knees. So now we're trying to stress the bones of this femur bone, your thigh bone. So we're going to slowly lower the heel of the hips, slowly lower down. And now, as you come up, you want to push the weight of your body down and stretch your legs. So you're fighting a resistance, you're fighting your own body's weight. You're going to go down. Now you're going to push away from the floor, push into the floor, and you're going to feel these bones working really hard. Actually, the muscles that are working hard, bones aren't working at all. The muscles are doing all the work, and they are what strengthen your bones. And press. Okay? Keep going. We're going to do several more of these. Nice bone stressing, deep circulating plies. So visualize what's going on here. Visualize the stress that's going into your quad, into your hips, right through the tibia into your feet. So the more weight you can drive into those legs right now, the harder you work to push the weight of your body down, the better it is for your bones. Very, very careful. Now we're going to just stay here. We're going to lift your heel up. Bend. Now you want to shift your weight slightly over that foot to stretch here more and to work your ankle more. Now imagine that you're squeezing an orange underneath your heel. Okay, all these are stressing the bones. The more you push hard, the more you stress those bones. Up with that heel. Squeeze an orange underneath your heel. You change legs. Up with your heel. Now, I always suggest that you hold both hands, just because it gives you a nice balance. But I'm used to holding it with one hand, and it's easier for you to see. Okay, so heel up, shift your weight over, and down you go. Squeeze an orange with that heel. One more time. Lift that heel up, and squeeze an orange. Now for the spine. The spine is sort of a double S curve. And when you move your spine that way, it looks like your hips are moving. So we're working the spine. You think I'm moving my hips. I am moving my hips, but it's the spine. I'm moving my spine that makes my hips move. So really visualize your spine, visualize your tailbone, and move your tailbone one way. Straighten it out. Move your tailbone the other way and straighten it out. So feet together. So now, I'm going to do an exercise to work the strength of your hip that you're standing on and the foot. So you're going to do a flex and point. To work, isolate the ankles and the toes. So you go toes, ankles, and toes. Now you're going to go toes and ankles and stay here now. You're going to just rotate the leg within the socket. Rotate the leg. So we're isolating the hip from the leg so that the hips aren't doing this. Just the leg is rotating. Now isolate the ankle and just work the ankle and the other direction. So the more you can liberate your body, the more efficient it is to drive in that blood into the bones and strengthen them. So when so many people, as we get older, or if we don't exercise enough, or if we exercise too much with running shoes, like high-performance athletes at the age of 20 can't move their ankles. And they're slow, they lose their stamina because there's no strength in the ankle. It's such an important joint for so many things. So for anti-aging, you need your ankle mobility. For sports, you need your ankle mobility. To be able to bounce up and down the stairs, to have strong ankle bones, you need ankle mobility. Up, rotate, you need hip mobility. You don't need to have your hips so tight that you can't isolate your leg within the socket. You can't strengthen your bones if you can't engage them. So that's what we're doing here. All this mobility is all about strength. Bending. It's all about strength, energy, anti-aging. Bend your knees, lift your heels, push those heels up as you straighten the legs. Now this is a very powerful exercise to stretch out the shins. That's what you're going to be feeling. You're going to be feeling this in the front of your legs. So now we're going to do a nice, light, easy hip cleaning type exercises just to loosen up those hip sockets. So just swing your leg. So just swing it, just nice and relaxed. Try not to move your body, so don't swing with your body going. Just swing with your leg. Now what we're going to do is swing your leg front, side, close it. Front, like a fan, like you're opening a fan, okay? And this is gaining range of motion of that hip. Okay, just move it around. Now we're going to do the same thing, but going from the back to the front. So you go behind you, front, behind you, front. So all working the hip. So we know that hips tend to be one of the bones that's very fragile. So we're strengthening the hip that we're standing on while we're doing this, as well as increasing the circulation. So cross your leg over, open it, cross. So think of all the blood that's swooshing into those hips. So now you're going to do a hip cleaner. Back, keep the knees close, circle it around, back. The leg you're standing on is probably getting a little tired, and that's exactly what it should be doing. Okay, good. We're going to change sides. Whew. You'll walk around. It'll take any stress out of your hips. Just swing. So just easy swings, but you've got to watch what's going on with your core. Don't let your body tip around. That's wrong. Just keep your body still. Okay, now we're going to do those fans. Front, side, close. Front, side, close. Close. Okay, keep going. One more. Then we're going to go to the back. So it goes behind you, side, close. Behind, side, close. Behind, side, close. One more. Okay, now we're going to go side. So just get that side and across action. Because the leg should move in the way that it was designed to move in. So if you can't do these, just very, very gently move with your body. Try, if you can just do the smallest bit, never go into pain. Smallest bit is good, and slowly you'll rebuild it. You'll slowly regain your range of motion. Nice hip cleaners. Circle it around and back. Okay, so nice little walk around your chair to give some stress release in those quads. Now you're going to use the leg that's the outside one. And we're going to do something I call them squash lunges because I train a lot of squash players. So you're lunging forward and you pull back. So this is it's a type of movement that we do every day and don't realize it. If you walk upstairs, if you're reaching into a lower cupboard, down. So this is practical, dynamic, weight-bearing exercises. So you're putting the full weight of your body onto that leg. Okay, good. Now you want to go back and up, back and up, down and up. So these are weight-bearing, strengthening of the bones. You can use your chair if you need it to get you back up and on balance. Side, down, side, and down, and drop, and lift, and drop, and let's change sides. So just take your time, and forward, and down. Now, you notice what I'm doing. I'm not bending forward. I'm moving my full body through space. So it's forward, putting it straight into the legs, and out. So bring your body down, you load up the thigh, back you go. Down. Okay, now we're gonna go backwards. The backwards is actually diagonal. Close. Down, knee should be pointed over your foot so that you don't have like a wobbly knee there. It's going to be nicely lined up with your foot. I suggest you all sort of once in a while return to the explanation, to the instructional little clip that we put in so that you understand how to always place your feet on the floor in all these lunges and plies and kicks. So that if you place your feet correctly, you're going to protect your knees. Okay, go for a little walk around your chair. That'll give you some break in the hips. You're going to go one leg at a time. So you're going to just lift slowly down. Now, a lot of people want to do all their leg moves with their backs. So this is just up, down, up, down, down, up, to the back. Lift. So all these leg exercises are to strengthen the hip of the leg that's working and the full leg right into the hip of the leg that you're standing on. So in reality, the leg you're standing on is working harder than the other leg. Down and lift. Down to keep your body straight. Side. Now try not to do this. Just lift. Up, down, lift.
Straight.
So we're doing roughly 8 each leg. We'll walk around the chair. Just to release the tension in your hips. I like that little walk because it's important to take some time to release the tension. Other leg, lift, down, lift, down. Pull in your stomach muscles and try to lengthen your spine. Down, 7, down, 8, diagonally back. So we need to have range of motion in our legs. We need strong hips. First of all, if you find that your bones are getting weaker as you age, first things first, let's get them back to full strength. And that's by stressing the bones. But once you've got them there, then you want to keep them strong, nice strong muscles, full body. So these are bone stressing to rebuild fragile bones. And they're also excellent exercises to prevent osteoporosis or osteopenia, anything of that nature. So I'm sure by now you can feel this in your standing leg. Okay, just shift your hips, move them around, move your legs, just shake, and we're going to go and sit down on the chair. So just when you think it's great, time to sit, and not so fast. So slide yourself slightly forward. Now these aren't your normal tricep exercises, because if you have weak arms, you might actually hurt yourself doing the traditional tricep exercises with the chair. So what we're going to do is just take your arms and you're going to put the weight of your body and you're just going to lift up and down. So you're just going to try to lift the weight of your body off the seat of the chair a few times and you're going to feel the strain right through the bones of your arms. So you're going to just lift up and lower down. So this way you can't hurt yourself if your arms can't handle the load, if your shoulders can't handle the load, if your muscles are too weak. Okay, so once you get really strong and you find that all these exercises are easy for you, then you can move up to the next level. But until then, just keep doing all these lovely workouts, these 4 workouts. Okay, so that's enough of that. Now we're going to just finish off with some fantastic stretches for the spine. So the best way to do that is to hold your spine with both your hands. So you hold your chair with both your hands. Bend your knees and tuck your tailbone under. So round your back so you get your tailbone nicely tucked under. Both hands are on the seat of the chair. Now I'm going to turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. So now my knees are bent and I'm shifting one shoulder up and around, shifting the other. And you'll feel this in your spine. You should feel a wonderful stretch in your spine. So you just keep your chair still, but I'm going to keep kind of moving around so you can see exactly what I'm doing. So I'm shifting. So just keep doing that. And what this does is it drives the blood into the different ranges of motion and loosens up all those vertebrae. Okay, now, I'm going to just walk backwards, but don't walk too far. Just bend slightly forwards, but don't bend, don't do this. Just slightly forward, and you're going to put the weight of your body into the seat, into the back of the chair, and just press down to straighten your arms, just very gently. So you're just going to push the weight forward. If you feel that, it should be a lovely little stress, not too hard, just at your level. So you're not putting the weight of your body into those arms, just putting a little bit of weight. Okay, so now round your back again and stand straight. You're going to take the leg that's outside, and you're going to slide it just slightly in front. Have your arm in front, and you're going to lift your arm up, twist. Now you're here with your arm twisted behind you. Take a deep breath. As you breathe out, look at the back hand and twist further. Twist as far as you can and come up. You're going to do the same thing the other side. So I'm just going to turn my chair around so you can see me. So I'm going to do the other foot in front. So it's the outside leg that goes in front. Lift that arm up. Twist around. Now you're going to deep breathe. As you exhale, look at your back hand, and that you'll be able to twist further. The further you twist, then you're going to be getting blood into certain bones that you places that you couldn't be able to get it into before. So you're stressing out that spine as you're increasing the flexibility. You're working through the circulatory system. Okay, face your chair again. Bend your knees, round your back, tuck that tailbone under, lift the shoulders up, and I'll face this way again for you. You round it, you're lifting your shoulders up, move. You're going to feel a lovely stretch in the spine. A lovely stretch should always mean to the lovely circulation of blood at the same time. So I recommend that you do this workout if you are suffering from any kind of bone problems. Do this every day for 2 or 3 weeks, and you're going to see a big difference. So see you tomorrow.
Okay, good job. If you made it to this point, you're doing excellent. This is going to help you with, it's going to help strengthen your bones. So if you have any kind of bone weakness, this is an excellent workout for you. This was the second of 4. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you at the next exercise.